sexy, breast, ass, tall, thin, feminine, good grades, curvy, emotional, housewife, don't be too loud, be clean, pure, muscular, tall, beard, abs, sporty, rich, secure. These are just some of the words that Swedish teenagers think about being a man or a woman, or what's masculine and feminine. But what happens if you stand out? Whore, bitch, dominant, feminist, faggot, nerd, mama's boy, gamer, like a girl, pussy. This all fits into the imagination of what the society has created to fit us all in the gender stereotypes of what a man or woman should or should be to be accepted. And today's teenagers spend several hours on social media and internet and are constantly being invited to this world where sexual objectification of women in media and the normalization of violence and the glorifying of violence is being their everyday life. And I asked this girl, Lisa, how it looked like at her school. And she said that a girl gets called a whore if she stands out by the guys. But the guys don't know why they say that, and we don't either. I did get hurt in the beginning, but now it has become such a normalization, so I don't even care anymore. And if a guy stands out, he gets called a faggot. And for me, when I grew up, I felt like I wasn't good enough because of how I looked, because of my body. When I was 12, I looked like a young woman. I was one of the tallest girls in school. I had boobs already, and I was very mature for my age. And when I was 12, my biggest dream was to become the world's best tennis player. But the awareness of my body on the court and by the other girls took me that far that I had to quit my biggest passion, tennis. I played several hours during the weeks and was competing all over Sweden. So quitting the tennis left me with nothing. I had no friends. I felt like a loser. But there was one time when I felt free, and it was when I held a camera in my hand. This camera became my best friend, and for once I was in peace with my mind and who I was. When I was 17, I started to work professionally as a photographer. I was working in the studio with makeup artists, dancers, models, and designers. And I was also working in Photoshop like a magician, changing people's faces and bodies, making things bigger, smaller, longer. But then it hit me. How am I contributing to the way that females are being objectified in media with my work? How am I contributing to my own self, knowing that I was doing something that wasn't in alignment with who I was, knowing I was doing something harmful to the world in a way? So I had to remind myself what the camera meant for me when I was 12. Not only did the camera change my life, but it also saved my life. So I wanted to give something back, especially to young girls. The feeling of being in control and the feeling of expanding your way of seeing, thinking, being, like the lens zooms in and out. And I just remind myself that I have a PowerPoint for you that I forgot about. So let me do a recap. The words that I said in the beginning, fat, no, I didn't say fat, I said sexy, breast, ass, good grades, tall, and so on. It's what today's teenagers in Sweden think about, or that you should be as a woman. Inside the box is what they think that a woman should be, or what they have heard that the society thought about a woman. And the same goes for the men. And outside the box you can see what a girl is being called if she stands out. I've done this workshop and exercise probably for over 1,000 of teenagers in Sweden, and they all say the same thing. What do you think they say if a girl stands out? Whore. A guy? Faggot. And this is not necessarily what they think themselves, but what our stereotypes is saying. As a photographer, as a woman, I also was rushed into the industry and saw how the women is being objectified in media. Mostly in commercials, it's sexualized. This is selling a burger. This is selling body lotion for men. I said the glorifying of violence. This is a big company, fashion company. It looks like a rape, if you see it for what it is. So, can you understand my fighting inside of me? I was in this industry, and what did I contribute with? So for the past years, I have dedicated my life to break the norms of what a woman can or cannot do. And I've been scared many times, but I had to listen to my heart and break free of the illusions of what I thought was possible. For example, standing in front, speaking in front of 10,000 people at Sergels torg after the Swedish election in 2010. Or even to participate in the beauty contest Miss World Sweden, just to show that a Swedish beauty queen don't necessarily have to be tall, thin, and blonde. I did make it to the final. I know you won't believe it if you look at me now, but I did. Did you think I won, by the way? No, of course not. I'm not that kind of girl. But I did something. I did put myself in this situation just to prove something, using my own power and my force. And it's scary sometimes, a lot of times. How many of you like photography here? Wow. Yay, I see your camera. Good. I would say, if you master photography, you have power. Because photography is a universal language. So for the past years, I've also had to think about my ability with the photography and also the willing to change the society. So this idea of finding yourself behind the camera has followed me for years. Because I was curious. Was I the only one who felt this strong for photography? So I asked girls around me, young girls, what the camera meant to them. And they all said the same thing. I found myself behind the camera. So that idea has just pushed me towards what I really is passionate about today. And it's mostly about giving the power back to young girls. Because I think that if you are in your own power, you will not only use it for yourself, but you will also change your environment. So for the past years, I have worked with young girls through a norm critic photography educational platform. So we give the power back to them, and through the camera they can use it as a tool for social impact or for whatever they wish to change in the world, especially when it comes to the beauty ideals or the gender norms and stereotypes that we have in our society. And what really drives me is that I want to create a new generation of young, aware females who are in their own authentic self and know that they are perfect just the way they are. No matter their skin color, religion, body types, dreams, previous mistakes, because of one simple thing, they are worthy because they exist. This is some of my girls from our platform. And as you can see, it's a diversity of girls, both age, backgrounds. So what hit me is that photography is actually secondary. The primary thing is that they have this platform where they can come and be themselves, talk about social questions that they think are interesting, or just to learn something new. But my heart is also with our boys. But I do believe that if we empower these young females, they will also be a good role model for their fathers, their brothers, their friends, their future husbands, or their future sons. Because I believe that a woman who are in her own power and in awareness of it is a very, very powerful being. But this also involves us all. It's not about a woman's question or a man's question, it's about a human question. So I would like to challenge you to all take that step towards to empowering both men and females. And it often starts with ourselves, right? I think that the world will be such a boring place if we all were that perfect man or that perfect woman. Think about it yourself. If we all were that perfect, we would just lose the essence of who we are, and it's not worth it. But everything comes down to two things: power and love. And I would like you to make visible those moments when you feel that you are in your true authentic self. What the hell does that mean? Well, when you have this feeling here inside of your belly, called stomach feeling, do you say that? Gut feeling? That you just feel that, oh, I just need to do this, or this is really just driving me towards this action, or whatever it is. Using your energy, your gifts, your talents. And that's when you are in your own authentic self, that feeling. So make those moments visible, use them. And also, by doing so, you will encourage others to do the same. And that is real power. Not the kind of power that we see today that are being misused in media to control others, to using our beauty, our sexuality, or money to manipulate and control others. So, my name is Felicia Margineanu, and I stand here today feeling loving, courageous, brave, in power, and just loving. So my question to you is, how are you using your power? Thank you.